The Godfather of the West Coast, now you know. With Dusty Vision on the side, we ride. Taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene. Classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat. From 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip-hop, like and subscribe.
What's up, folks? You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Like I say every week, from the West Coast to the East Coast, and everything between, folks, from Eve after dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my main man, Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Dusty?
Man, Lonzo, what is good, my man?
Man, trying to turn the Do Not Disturb on. You know, they're gonna start calling me as soon as I.
Always, man, always. Well, shout out to the chat fam, getting nice and comfortable. We have a great show. Please hit that like button before you get too comfortable. Really helps out the algorithm. We really do appreciate it. Let's jump right into it, Lonzo. Probably the biggest story that's been going viral, especially here in Los Angeles, was the shooting at Marathon Burger's grand opening in the city of Long Beach. Many were in attendance. Snoop Dogg, Stevie Wonder pulled up. The mayor of Long Beach. There was families, grandmas, kids, and all of a sudden, someone decided to just act the ass, decided to start banging. Situation led outside, and that is where two people were hit and one person lost their life right there downtown Long Beach. Me and my wife go to Pine Avenue all the time. I know that area very well. When you first heard this story, Lonzo, what were your first thoughts?
Broke my heart, man. Broke my heart. You would think that out of respect for Nipsey and the Marathon brand, that whatever was on your mind could be put aside long enough for them to have a grand opening. Big Boy was out there buying burgers. I saw he bought another 60 burgers. They was giving away 60 over here. I get it now. There's 60. Okay, they buying 60 burgers at a time. Get it? Okay, it just registered with me. But this is what I was telling you yesterday. People don't understand that when you open a business like this and you have an incident like this in the business, it makes everybody rethink doing business with you, man. It's like somebody being shady. You know, you go into business with somebody with the best intentions. All of a sudden, you find out they're shady. Now you wonder, did you make a good decision? And this is the same thing here. When in regards to the Marathon Burger. Now I've heard that it wasn't anywhere near the Marathon Burger. But because it happened the same day as the Marathon Burger was open, don't make no difference to the eyes of the media, because the media gonna put it on the hamburger stand.
I'm telling you right now, I saw video after video. That was right across the street from the Marathon. I know exactly. I could close my eyes right now, walk into each store right there. I know that area so well. It was right across the street from Marathon Burger.
Gotcha. So that being said, all right, now again, going back to the city of Long Beach. Everybody has to go through certain procedures to get a business open in any city. You have city procedures you have to go through. You have to get a certificate of occupancy. That's your business license, all the paint, all the decorations, all the health department stuff. If you can't get a certificate of occupation, you just wasted your time and money. Okay, now. They're not going to shut it down for this right here, but it's going to be some restrictions that I would expect them to put some restrictions on the facility. They may require them to have security, something they didn't think about at first. Because who has security at a hamburger stand? I mean, you might have a Barney Fife out there just to direct traffic or something like that, but for the most part, you don't hear about stuff like this. How many times have you ever heard of something like this happen at an In-N-Out? They got In-N-Outs all up and down Artesia. Here in LA, Artesia is a street that runs alongside the freeway. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 In-N-Outs just in Lakewood and Bellflower alone. 3, one by the freeway, one on the they're all over. But again, you don't hear about these kind of situations happening at an In-N-Out. Only at a Marathon Burger. That's the brand of a brother who was slain, a former gangbanger who was slain by a gangbanger, and now it's almost like you automatically causing people to do the math. 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, if you do this, you're gonna do that, and this is the kind of stereotype that we feed into, that we support, because they probably had their own resistance in the beginning. I don't know if I want to do this or not, but I tell you what, one problem you have is that Olympic area down there. That whole area is a major site for the Olympics. That ain't gonna fly for long, folks. Now they may come in there and do some cleaning house, whatever, and we might not feel as comfortable going down there, because this is the kind of stuff that we create on our own, that people react in different ways. And I'm not trying to justify nobody's negative action towards us, but we can't keep doing stuff like this to our businesses, because whether you own it or not, it's still ours. It's still ours. We don't have these problems that, I don't know, Tom's or damn sure don't have, huh?
But yeah.
You don't have Mr. Carl's Jr. Nobody goes to Carl's Jr., but whatever it is, ain't no problem. So when you think about a hamburger stand and the legacy, I don't know if they had any problems like this at the one in Hollywood. And they just gave the brother a whole Nipsey Hussle Square the day before on Slauson and Crenshaw. They just did that in honor of the brother. And the next day, it's like somebody can't stand to see this brother's name have anything else good on it. Somebody decided to shoot three people and kill one right near the opening of his third location, a third hamburger stand.
Yeah, just building. They're gonna put one in Times Square. Apparently, that's the next step in New York. That
would be all right. That would be all right, because I don't see people hopping on buying plane tickets, go to New York to look for their ops. Okay, and this is the same reason why you don't have theaters in the hood, you don't have clubs in the hood, and you don't have a lot of things in the hood, because folks can't put their differences aside long enough to let a business survive and go about their business. It's always on site, always on site. That's and to me, that's a hater. That's a hater. That's a hater. You can't. These people do something that was so terrible, you had to risk other lives and ruin the reputation of a business that's just opening up. Because no matter what, it's gonna be that business is gonna be scarred. Oh, they'll be shooting that Marathon Burger. I ain't going down there. That's what they're gonna be saying. Oh, no, the Marathon Burger, they good, man. They ain't worth dying for. These are the things you're gonna hear. Meanwhile, you got some hidden hands in your business that might reconsider their position. They might say, you know what, if this is going to happen on a regular basis, we may have to up our insurance policy. We may have to change. We was only going to charge you $5,000 a year. Now it's going to be $20,000. Ask me how I know. It happened to me. From $5,000 to $20,000, baby, like it's a cheese sandwich. 20 racks a year to insure your business. They can do it just like that. So and then if this is the first thing that happened on the grand opening, let something else happen in the next few months. They're gonna be talking about shutting it down, man. That's a prime spot, dude.
Long Beach does not mess around. Born and raised in Long Beach. I'm rocking the Long Beach hat tonight. They do not mess around. You fuck up once, you're out, bro.
Yeah, they don't care about your hood. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care what you represent in LA. Okay, fine. Take it to LA. We're not doing it in Long Beach. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it in Long Beach. That was a Johnny Rockets. They had all kinds of hamburger stands out, eateries down there. They got a Laugh Factory. They got all those bubble gums.
Exactly. Tourists all over.
Huh?
Tourists getting off the bus. Off the ships. All that.
You got too much other stuff that could be affected by a Marathon Burger or some gang shit. Too much other things can be affected. And if it's going to bring this kind of traffic, we don't need it. That's the landlord to say, you know what? You can stay, but the rent going to be this high. They ain't going to kick you out, but they're going to raise your rent. May not do it right away, but they could. And if you get enough police incidents they'll shut you down, period. Simple as that. Keep calling the police. See what happens. Keep calling the police. When it come time to renew your license, or they have to come out there too many times, the sergeants and different officers, you know what? We've been out there to call them incident reports. Ask me how I know about incident reports. I've been on a few of them. They get too many incident reports, cars stolen, and it ain't got to be on your property. It's got to be around during your business hours. Again, ask me how I know. You open, something happened, it's your fault. Especially if you're not an essential business. You're not a grocery store. You're not a laundromat. You're not a church. You are a place of entertainment. Entertainment is always seen as a secondary business. You're not a hardware store. You're not a grocery store. You're not something we have to have. That's why so many neighborhoods don't have them. We don't have to have bowling alleys. There's nothing to say we have to have bowling alleys. We don't have to have skating rinks. And you wonder why you don't have stuff in your hood, because even when they put you something in somebody else's hood, y'all still find a way to fuck it up. Next.
Real, man. Getting off with the blast. I love this, Lonzo. All right, so let's break this down a little bit more. When I heard the footage that's going around, probably the main footage, the one thing that really like touched me, it was some dude yelling out. I was gonna play it, but there's so many F words and all that, it was just too much to edit out. But he basically was saying, "What the F for y'all N words doing? I got my daughter with me," and he just kept yelling that. He was within eye distance of the people who were shooting, man. I mean, this thing could have went way. Unfortunately, someone lost their life, but it could have went way left, bro.
See what I'm saying? And this is somebody who has no regard for anybody, man. It's all about him. That's a hater. He don't care about the kids. He don't care about the possibly going to jail because you did it in front of witnesses. And trust me, bro, you on camera. You're on camera. You're on camera. You're downtown Long Beach. You're on smile, motherfucker, smile. Because you on camera, bro. It's only a matter of time before you get caught up. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time before you get caught up. And the next question is, was it worth it? Risking your life and sacrificing your freedom, taking a life and ruining two others, was it worth you shooting these guys for? I don't know. But you're gonna have plenty of time to figure it out eventually. They're gonna figure out who you are, and somebody's gonna tell on you, and you'll be in jail, and then you'll blame everybody else for you being in jail. But you did that. And like I said before, that's a hater move, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah. My friend came on my show last night to discuss his thoughts on this, and he said something very interesting, and I would love your opinion, especially because you were around then as an adult. But he's around my age, right around my age, actually. He said when the Magic Johnson Theater opened, anyone who knows where the Magic Johnson Theater is, they know what's up. But he said when that opened, that a lot of OGs in the area got together, and he was privy to this because he was part of it, told the youngsters, don't be causing no problems. This is a good thing. And for the most part, people listened. Of course, there were going to be situations, and there were situations. It's going to happen. But he said for the most part, people listened to the OGs. And even when he went, he said he would leave his rag in the car. He would cover up his gang tattoos when he walked into Magic Johnson Theater because it was out of respect for the OGs. Fast forward to 2026. What has changed in your opinion, Lonzo?
A lot of OGs either stepped away completely and don't have time for these young cats. They don't have the same they don't value respect the same way as older guys did, the generation before. They just as soon tell an OG, F you. Now, this guy been out the game. He's been well respected, did whatever he had to do to earn a reputation, but he got another life now. He got another life. A lot of them have found Christ. A lot of them have moved on, and rather than go to jail or risk his freedom, and a lot of these guys got 2 strikes. A lot of these guys is walking on banana peels next to a graveyard, okay, to an open grave. So they like, man, I'm out. I can't regulate this no more because one, y'all don't respect nothing. I'd hate that to put hands on you and get caught up and end up doing 25 to life. So they back up. They in checkmate. They checkmate. They checkmated on the law. They can't do nothing. In some cases, not all. And a lot of cats, still, like some guys, man, that they still with the business. They don't have a off switch. You didn't put no work in for. They support it. A lot of guys support that. Give a damn about no Nipsey Hussle. This is so and so and so and so. Blah 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 blah. It is what it is, Doc.
You were in the club business for decades. We've talked about some of the situations that you were in, especially when it came to violence that happened in or around your club. So I want to kind of talk about some of that tonight. Can you talk about, how easy it is? I guess we'll start with this. How easy it is for someone to lose their license, lose everything over some bullshit that happened on their property? And give us an example of when you almost lost your shit.
Somebody got shot at my club, man. No, the guy who shot him never came in the club. The guy who got shot was in the club. Came outside, got into a little scuffle. The guy who shot him wasn't even involved in the scuffle. Some of his buddies was. Homeboy came across the street, cleared the path, shot homeboy twice, killed him, and died in the parking lot. I never saw nobody. To this day, I ain't seen nobody. All I know is he died in my parking lot. That's your problem. When he died in my parking lot, my whole life changed for about 3 years. I was on the verge of losing my house. And yes, I would have had insurance normally, but I didn't renew it. I was leaving the club in 2 weeks. I was leaving in 2 weeks. I was out. I had a whole new club, Hollywood Park Casino. I was cutting back. It wasn't even my event. It was somebody else's event. One of my so-called managers booked the event to try and impress the owner. Hopefully he can stay. But I didn't sold the liquor license. I didn't tell the owner I was out. I had a couple of events to fulfill. I think it was a wedding and some other stuff I had to contracts I had to fulfill. And I'm done. Homeboy booked that event and he left, went back to Chicago, left me holding the bag, never went to court, never did nothing. And cost me damn near $1 million that I did not have. Everybody got sued. It was $990,000 divided 3 ways. That gave me $300,000 worth of responsibility. The brother the guy who did the shooting, he got $300,000, and the brother who caused the fight to let his brother's death, he got $300,000. But the only one that had anything to lose was mine. You can sue some bitch all day long. If he can't pay the lawsuit,
ain't got shit. Yeah,
I got a house. And here's the crazy part. It was doing the real estate thing. My shit went through the roof. I told him, hey man, if y'all think I can pay that right there, y'all can move into some bitch. Y'all give y'all the keys. I can't do it. And I had to file bankruptcy. It was horrible, man. It was horrible, dude. It was a while ago now. It took me a while to recover from that, man. Bankruptcy, all kind of shit, man. Man, come on, dude. Come on, dog. That shit ain't no joke, man. And I wouldn't recognize anybody right to this day. I don't know the shooter, the guy that got killed, or the brother that started the fight. But because he died on my property, here's the crazy part. People die in the city all day long. It ain't the city's fault. But if he died on your private property, it's your fault.
See, that's some BS right there.
That's different. If he dies in the city sidewalk, it's not the city's responsibility. But if he falls on your private property, you got a headache.
Wow. All right, so the Eve was right smack in the middle of Piru territory back when it was just really, really popping in the streets. Not saying it's not now, but back then it was 80s and 90s. Forget about it. It was a different animal. Can you talk to us about some of the precautions that you went through as a club owner to prevent as much as you can from shit popping off at your establishment?
Cut deals with some of the local homies. Couple of boys from Piru was buddies of mine. All gangbangers ain't assholes, okay? At a couple of parties, that was cool. They ran with the Piru boys. And, hey, man, he came to me. He said, look, bro, we like what you're doing. Let us in a couple of times. But, if there's something jump off, we got you. And we was already cool anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. No problem, man. You got it. You got it. And I had my own security. I had hired one guy. He's in my documentary. He was an undercover security guard. His only job was to monitor the bathrooms. And anybody trying to sell dope in the bathroom, hook him up, call the police. Hook him up, call the police. We did that shit. He called the cops, man, 7-8 times a weekend. And that was one of the ways. That was one of the ways that we avoided a lot of hassle because Jeffy said no dope in this club. Now, although the E didn't have any alcohol, the same license applied upstairs and downstairs. So he could have lost his liquor license by me having drug upstairs in the club. And we always had ample security at the club. Man, I usually have about 4 guards. I'd have two visible and 2 walking around the club. Like I said, one guy would be in the bathroom undercover. Another guy, just a bouncer, just walking around, just keeping an eye on shit. Just, just being visible to make sure. And the Eve, you put people there, it ain't that big, but back then it seemed like it was huge. It seemed like it was huge, especially when something would jump off. You had to come from my office to wherever it was. It might take me 5 or 10 minutes to get over there, man. Because so many bodies in the club. But again, we had a pretty good team, man. I had to implement some rules. One night I came out the back. There was a rumble, heard a rumble jumping off. I walked out of my office. Somebody hit me so hard, dude. I still don't know what this dude hit. What he hit me with. I had to go back and sit down. I'm like, damn. I ran back outside, and that night I implemented a new rule. If y'all see me fighting or get hit, and y'all ain't getting hit or fighting too, I'm firing everybody. I'm firing everybody, and I never got hit again. Okay, we had some fights, and it's funny, man, because a lot of times, and this is the part that I know that nobody else really knows. A lot of times when we had fights, the people that got famous for being gangsters was not a part of the fights. I ain't call it no names. They just wouldn't be a part of the fights. My boy Charles Wendell, rest his soul, unknown. A couple of homies from the neighborhood. Whoop! I had guys in the club that had my back no matter what. They wouldn't let nothing happen to me because they knew if I'm gone, the club is gone. I had homies like that. If they knew if something was happening and if they saw somebody in my face, they pushed me out the way, bro. No, not him. You don't. Nope. What's the problem? We take this outside. He ain't gonna be in it. And that's how they protected me a lot of times. Sometimes I had to go out there and fend for myself, but a lot of times at some point, no, dude, not him. No. And that always made me feel kind of good that they respected my position and know if he ain't here, this ain't gonna happen. Okay, so I'll take this fade for him. What's the problem?
We've told several fight stories. Some are more funny than others. Some are more interesting than others. But can you give us? It's been a while since you told us a club fight story. Give us the club story, Lonzo. I think maybe the one where there was some mace involved or something. Maybe that could be a good one. I'll let you pick though. You do your thing.
I was talking about telling a story the other day. It wasn't a club story. It was a club story, but it wasn't so much a fight story. But it was how the police would do me back in the day. The Eve was on Avalon, El Segundo. There was a robbery on Main and El Segundo. To get from Main to Avalon, that's over a mile. Okay, that's over a mile straight across. The cops, one misty Saturday night, the cops claimed, Carson Sheriff claimed that somebody robbed somebody at AM/PM on the corner of Main and El Segundo, ran all the way to the Eve after dark, past up Jarvis, San Pedro, all them apartments, everything, ran to the Eve after dark, got searched, paid his money, and ran out the back door. I'm like, huh? Yeah, we traced him to this corner here. How did you do that? We traced him here. We want everybody out of the club. I had to empty everybody out of the club. Everybody. First, they made all the men come out, all the males come out, employees everywhere. Then they made all the girls come. It was drizzling, not raining hard. It was drizzling. Then they sent the dog up. The dog didn't find shit. All them sweaty ass bodies, and you think the dog gonna find something. And this happened about 12:30, 1 o'clock. We still had about 2 or 3 more hours ago, man. Hours of party left. And it was one of them things, man. It reminds you of something you saw down south. That's what it felt like. It felt like something down south where the cops just straight abused their authority, dude. Just straight abused their authority. What am I supposed to do? I got 9 white boys with 9mm on their side telling me I gotta close the club. And they had my girl trying to identify. They don't know what the guy looked like. They didn't know what he looked like. All this somebody told the police he robbed and he ran east. And the only thing they can come up with Eve after dark, man, y'all full of shit. Pissed me off to the highest level of pissivity. But that's the kind of shit that happened at Eve from time to time, man. And by that time, I was kind of burnt, huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
I was kind of burnt. I was ready to get out of there then because now y'all just being disrespectful for no reason. Y'all don't blame us on everything. That's what I'm saying. This guy, something happened a mile away, but you still blamed us for it. You put me in the mix. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You couldn't tell me ain't nowhere in the world somebody ran from El Segundo and Main Street to Avalon and wasn't sweating like a racehorse in the Kentucky Derby. And then he had the wherewithal to slow down, get himself together, get searched, because everybody got searched even after dark. Only person that gets searched was me and the guys that worked there. Everybody got searched. Pay his money just to run out the back door? Come on, man. That don't even make sense. That don't make sense. But that's what we had to deal with. But going back to the Mace thing, man. I would tell you about the unknown shooting the guy.
If you did, it's been a minute. Tell us.
I had a security guard. His name was Eric. Eric was about 5'4", but he was one of them cats. He loved being a security guard. That was his thing. He thought the security guard was made him a good 6'5", whatever. He thought. I'm
picturing Mike Epps in Friday.
He was Mike Epps on
security of the world, Craig.
Security of the world. But he went to the security guard shop, bought all the latest toys. He got the baton to flip out. He got a brand new bulletproof vest. He got all the latest sprays, the pepper spray, and all this other shit. And Unknown he's carried 25. We all carried guns back then. And Unknown got to talking shit. This is my new Teflon bulletproof vest, blah, 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 blah. And I said, I put a hole in that motherfucker. And they got to talking shit. And these two fools squared off in the club. And Unknown shot this dude in the chest with the bulletproof vest on. He shot him.
Damn.
Wow. He was about 5, maybe 7 feet from him. And he shot him in the chest with the bulletproof vest on. Now,
wow.
Flew back. But what we didn't expect is the goddamn bullet to ricochet around the club. The E was bricks. That motherfucker ricocheted 2 or 3 times before it stopped in some wood. That was the last thing we expected, Doc. That was the last thing. Bullets started ricocheting.
That's some movie shit, Lonzo.
Huh?
That's some movie shit right there. Your life is a movie, dog.
That motherfucker ricocheted, and when we finally found it, it lies in some wood by the bar. And one of Jeffy's sons was there. That nigga couldn't wait. He was part of the whole thing, but he couldn't wait to tell on my ass Monday morning. God damn. He couldn't wait to drop a dime on my ass, boy. He told on me big time. Lonzo's friend, his boy, shot a guy in the club, and bullets ricocheted. Oh, dude, I got chewed the fuck out. Oh, I had to hear it that day. I had to go through it. I had to go through it. Oh, it was rough. It was hard being me that day, man. But you know what? But before I go any further, today is the sixth anniversary of me closing the club down.
Damn.
I closed the club March 3rd, 2019. So 7 years.
7 years. Yeah, it was right before. Yeah.
Yeah, I closed right before COVID. Right before COVID. Yeah, COVID was just coming about, and I closed the club down. And here come COVID. I was like, damn, I just dodged a bullet.
Man, big time.
I just dodged the bullet. But yeah, Doc, this was today's anniversary. But going back to the story, yeah, it was a mess, man. But yeah, it's the same dude. Eric was the same dude that when something happened, anytime a situation happened, he had to break out one of his new toys. And we had a fight in the club, and boy, that Negro sprayed what you call that shit?
Bear mace or some shit.
Bear mace, like it was Glade air freshener, and somebody just farted in the club. He sprayed that shit like it was Glade air freshener. That shit, man, that shit is like Kool-Aid and water. It expands in air. That shit took the air out the room, dude. That shit took everybody was gagging. I'm in the office. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And this fool was still spraying. I smelled it. He was still spraying. I came out the office. He's still spraying, man. What the fuck are you doing? People got their faces pressed against on the back of the windows of Eve. There's wrought iron gates, wrought iron window over the windows. People got their faces pressed against that shit, man, trying to get some fresh air. People jumping out the window because you can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't breathe. I ran back in the office and stuck a tablecloth under the door. That shit, I mean, get out of here with that bullshit. That shit kicked that tablecloth to the curb. I'm in there crying. And one girl, I thought she died. She just got oh, Negro, we finna go to the penitentiary. And she had a epileptic fit. And we got her outside, but people was diving out the windows. It was horrible, dude. It was horrible. And that shit was still in the club a day later. When I came back up to the club Sunday morning, that shit was still lingering in the club. We still in the club blinking like a motherfucker. No bullshit.
What happened to Eric? That's the main question.
And I had to let his ass go. Dude, you gonna kill us all with your toy shit. He was worse than James Bond with his shit. I had
get Eric.
Yep, I had some of the craziest guards. I had one guard. He was a jacker. Monday through Friday, he would rob dope dealers. But guess who came to the dope club on Saturday night? Dope dealers. And his name was David. David was one of the military FOI type cats. He didn't give a damn about no dope dealers. Dave, he kept his regular gun, but he also kept a 9mm in his gym bag. And he came to the office one day. Lonzo, my brother, I have to leave. I can't come back. What's wrong, Dave? Man, I gotta go. Dave, what happened? I had another guard. You all right, bro? And I talked to Dave later on. I saw him later on. He says, man, I saw people that I had robbed. I guess they didn't know they didn't know it was him. He knew them, they didn't know him. Okay. I saw guys that I had robbed. And I didn't know if they knew me or not. I couldn't take that chance. I don't want to bring that heat to your club. I appreciate it, Doc. Cool dude. But straight terror. Monday through Friday. That nigga was a terror.
Damn, so many club stories. Let's reset real quick, Lonzo. We're about halfway through the show. Remind everybody to hit that like button if you have not already. Please hit it. Really helps out the algorithm. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you enjoy what you hear, you want some of that real West Coast hip hop, some grown-ass men enlightenment, you are tuned into N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if this is your first time joining us. Tonight at 7, after the show, right here, actually on my channel, after this show, we are going to be discussing someone who I feel doesn't get the proper recognition for what they've done in hip-hop. We're going to be discussing someone who was there from the very start. Without him, we wouldn't know hip hop as it is today, at least when it comes to the West Coast. We're going to be discussing the OG pioneer in this game. That's right, Lonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. I'll also be discussing and playing a lot of our footage from the record fair that him and I attended a couple of weeks ago. At the record fair, I got footage of Psycho Les from the Beat Nuts, a bunch of members from Project Blow Camp, and the one and only Professor Griff from Public Enemy. So join me at 7 p.m. on my channel. I'm about to post the link in the description. But before we move on, Lonzo, tell them about Band Buzz.
Band Buzz. If you're an independent artist with music you want to sell and not give away, Band Buzz is the app for you. Available on the iPhone, wait for iPhone and Android. When you download the app, it's free. You get a custom QR code. You upload your music, upload your video, your pictures, and you set the price for your music. Band Buzz does take a small cut, but if you have music that is worthy of purchase and not just to be streamed, you need Band Buzz. If you're gigging and you want to make more money on the road, you need Band Buzz. If you want to host meet and greets remotely with your fans, you need Band Buzz. If you're trying to make money in the music game right now without having anybody between you and your money, you need Band Buzz, folks. It's available on the Play Store, Google Store, and on the iOS. Check out Band Buzz, y'all. Better get it while it's free, though, folks. Better get it while it's free. Band Buzz.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. I like these club stories, and it's not often that we really tell them, but one that we've discussed in the past that stands out. I guess the best way to describe it, there was a shooting at your club, and there was a phone book involved. You know what I'm talking about? Break it. Tell us that story, man.
It was funny, man. I talked to the brother who was handcuffed to my ass the same night. One of my DJ partners ran into my doorman, JC, we both was handcuffed that night in the parking lot after the cops found my gun. Man, clubs have always been one of my second career. And I've always been a hands-on type of manager. I don't just, sit in the office and collect money. If something happens, I want to know what's going on. I don't drink while I'm out. I don't do alcohol or nothing else while I'm working at the club. That's a job to me. I love the job, but it's a job. And my philosophy is if something happened and the police got to get called, somebody got to have a sober mind. And I wanted to be that person. I'm at the club, go to my office. I saw this lady crying. You all right? I think I saw the guy that killed my son. Oh, shit. What do I do with this? I'm talking to the lady, just trying to calm her down and just trying to comfort her the best way I possibly can. Here comes her nephew, one of them like homeboy from Players Club. What you doing to my auntie? What you doing to my auntie? Hey, man, she was crying. I'm just talking to her. So no matter what I said, this fool was going to blame it on me. I'm like, dude, back up off me. And I'm probably in my mid to early 40s. I still throw down on niggas' ass, and I did. And he kept pushing me. And like, dude, fuck it, let's go. And we got to fighting. We got to fight in the parking lot. Now, before we got to fighting, the nigga said something that I'll never forget long as I live. The nigga said, hold my teeth. Took out his teeth, gave his teeth to the nigga just got a brand new set of teeth. Gave his teeth to his girlfriend so we can fight. Now, first of all, it's hard for me to fight. Okay, after the nigga said hold my teeth, but after that nigga hit me, I was back. It was back on and popping. Okay, so we out there scrapping. We scrapping in the parking lot of the current affair, and he was half lit, so it wasn't really like it was no real good fight. But the nigga hit me, so we got to do something. And right where we were scrapping at, it was the blacktop had been, it was a pothole, and I slipped in the pothole. My cousin thought I got knocked down. He goes behind the bar and grabs my 357, and he shoots up in the air twice. Bow, bow. So fight over with. I don't know what happened. I go back to DJing shortly after that. They all outside talking. All of a sudden, Inglewood PD show up. They lying their ass up. We heard there was shots fired, and there was a body somewhere in the club. Man, get the fuck out of here. I know what happened, but I'm still DJing. And he says, I heard there was a fight. I don't know about no fight. Cop take the flashlight, and he rolled and pants down to my leg. My pants is ripped from the knee to the ankles, okay? Dusty and dirty as hell. Look like you been fighting. I'm lying. Oh, no, I had no fight. He looked down. Oh, shit. I heard there was a gun. I said, man, ain't no gun. I told my cousin, put the gun in the safe. You got to have a search warrant to open up my safe. My cousin's lazy ass take the damn gun, push the gun in a phone book behind the bar, and it's sitting like this right here. The gun hanging out the phone book like this right here, okay? Barrel looking at you, okay? I didn't even see him do it. I looked at the cops. That a gun? He walked over. I said, oh, shit, I'm finna go to jail. Sure enough, I get handcuffed. And my partner, JC, who I just talked to Saturday, he's a doorman. He was trying to see what's going on. They handcuffed his ass too. We both sitting up there. The police, Inglewood PD is giving us, telling us how somebody got shot. And if we talk to them right now, they'll go easy on this. We won't have to worry about doing it anytime. Anybody got shot. I know anybody got shot. I ain't had but 4 bullets in the gun, and 2 of them has already been shot. So now we sitting there waiting. Now, homeboy, who I had to fight with, they got him handcuffed across the other side of the room. This fool was so irate. He literally talked himself into going to jail. Literally. Because cops didn't have nothing. They didn't have nothing. The gun was a revolver. There was no shells to pick up. Excuse me. There was no shells to pick up. I'm sticking to my story. JC sticking to his story. But this thing over here, he kept on talking. Next thing I know, me and JC get unhandcuffed. Meanwhile, homeboy's getting walked to the car, and his ass ended up going to jail that night. True story. We never did find out if that was that woman's, the guy who shot her son or not. But she ended up leaving too. The party, by that time, the party it didn't fell apart now. It didn't fell apart. So yeah, shit, real shit. Even up to that's current affair.
I would love to. I would love for you to talk to us about a story that still gets talked to about this day. It happened in Long Beach, 1984. What do you remember about when Run DMC came to Long Beach and the concert got turned out by the Crips at the Long Beach Convention Center?
I was glad I didn't go that night. I was glad I did not go. I got phone calls that night. Man, they turned the party out, nigga. I said, it was that good? No, nigga, they turned it out. The 60s was throwing niggas off the balcony. What? They said they was throwing cats off the balcony. Girls was getting beat up. Guys getting beat up. And it was I think it was a Swatch fest, Swatch something. Swatch, that's what Swatch watches was the shit. Y'all got to be old to know about Swatch watches. Okay, I don't even think they make Swatch.
Yeah.
But Swatch was the sponsor of this particular concert. I think it was Run DMC, Houdini, some more. I can't think of all the lineup, but I don't think it was no West Coast acts on the line. But anyway, the Long Beach 20s and somebody else got into it, and it was a massive melee. That shit ruined hip hop in Long Beach for a long time. The people got killed that night. People got killed and beat up for real. And I wasn't there, but some of the stories I heard, whoever it was had no mercy on anybody. Girls wearing red, everybody was under suspicion and under fire. Yes, sir.
I remember you mentioning that there were rumblings before the show or something like that some shit was going to go down, that you were getting bad signs or something like that.
I heard little shit, man, but when you're in the streets, you hear shit all the time, okay? You hear shit all the time, and it just sometimes go in one ear, and also it depends on who's telling you this shit. Some people just like talking, and I'd heard some things, and just enough. Yeah, I'm gonna sit just for now. That's all. I'm gonna sit just for now. First of all, I don't really do concerts unless I go backstage. That's just me. I don't do concerts unless I'm going backstage. And I was backstage this whole weekend at the old school festival, old school show this week. But back then, I probably wouldn't have got backstage because I hadn't blown up yet as a world-class record crew. I think 84, yeah, I made some records, but I might have been protesting if I wasn't on the show. If any knowing me like I did, fuck them. If I ain't on the show, I ain't going down there. You know, I get attitude about shit like that.
Hey, how was that old school show that you went to, and who were some of the people that were on the bill?
Teddy Riley was the headliner. Dougie Fresh, cool, Big Daddy Kane, Cool Mo D was there. KRS-One, Michel'le and Furious 5, and I think it was Soul Sonic Force or somebody like that. What Africa Bambaataa wasn't there, but it was Soul Sonic, Planet Patrol. That's who it was. Planet Patrol. Okay, I didn't see Planet Patrol. I saw everybody else except for Planet Patrol, and you know what, man? It was an old school show. It was cool, had a cool vibe to it, but some of my folks is slowing down. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of my folks are slowing down, you know, and rightfully so. But it was cool just to hang out with the fellas. Like I said, me and Curtis go back to 78, man, 79. Me and Mo D hooked up on tour back when we was touring with Zapp and Roger. Michel'le and the Furious 5. We went to England with them, hung out with them back in the day in England. And me and Dougie Fresh, that was our first time meeting. Never worked with Big Daddy Kane. But Dougie Fresh, that was my first time meeting him. And he was by himself. I introduced myself to him and said, hey, man, I'm Lonzo, world-class record crew. Oh, yeah, man. He was a cool brother. Yeah, man, I just worked with your girl, Michel'le, last weekend. I said, okay. So he wasn't bullshitting. So, you know, it was a good vibe, man. Light crowd. Crowd could have been better. But I think one of the problems we had was there was no West Coast acts up there at all. The only person was there from the West Coast was King T, was supposed to be one of the MCs. And he had asked me to help him MC when he goes up, but he never went up. I stayed till the end of the concert, and they went over. It was starting to go overtime. So to avoid them penalties and fines, they cut Teddy Riley's show short, who I came to see.
Damn, yeah, that's the main act.
That's the main act. And he said he had just joined the show 2 days ago. So I don't even know if he had anything planned, but it was all right show. It was all right. Yeah.
Okay. What was your favorite tour, Lonzo? Take yourself back to your favorite tour. If you could pick one. I don't know, tour, show, maybe, what was your favorite one that sticks out in your head the most?
One of my favorite shows was in DC. We opened up for EU. That's the one I did the drop the pants thing for the first time. And the energy from that motherfucker, man, that was like crack for me because I'm still trying to get that energy back again. The energy from that time I dropped my pants and all the women went crazy. If I'd have stayed there, I'd have had about 40 babies that night. I'd have babies I'd had babies up their ass in DC. But yeah, that was one of my favorite shows. And we've done some. England was a gas too, man. We played England, and we played Wembley Stadium with Sir Mix-a-Lot. Africa Bambaataa, we felt like the Beatles, dude. It felt like we were the Beatles, man, because they treated us like kings over there. It was amazing. It was amazing how they treated us, Doc. Everywhere we went, we had a crowd. And we had about 20,000 people at Wembley Stadium. It was great.
Yeah, damn, that sounds crazy. Hey, going back to your club days, Lonzo, and the cops, was there one cop who effed with you more than others?
Hell yeah. Joe Samples, that was his name. Joe
Samples.
Joseph Samples, most evil. This motherfucker fell out. He must have came from down south. He did not like blacks and Mexicans. My neighborhood where I grew up at, where I lived, everybody sold dope except for me. And he knew that. And they told him he don't sell dope. But because I owned the club, he assumed that I was the plug. I drove a clean ass 240Z. Later on, I had a RX-7. And I still was clean every day. I had my own house on the corner, and I was a little bit older than most of the guys in the neighborhood. He just figured that I was up to no good. He just couldn't bust my ass. And he would fuck with me for no reason. He would fuck with me for no reason. I mean, he just followed me around. If I saw him, if he saw me, he busted a U. If he saw me, he's busting a U. And it got to the point I started tricking his ass. I stopped driving my RX-7 so much, started driving my van. I had a burgundy van also. So I jump out of my car, jump in my van. He didn't recognize the van at first. Then he peeped me in the van one day, and he started chasing me, tried fucking with me in the van. And he would come on my street, man, and rob the dope dealers. He'd rob them. And then he would park his car, turn the radio off, turn the lights off, and go up I ain't gonna say, well, he had a girlfriend on my block, put it that way. A Latino girl, Big Rosie. Rosie must have been 300 pounds. He loved Big Rosie. And yeah, she was the big one. She was the big one. But he was into that. Yeah. And it was some negative talk about his ass going through the hood because he had jacked so many guys and beat a few guys. They had plans for his ass. He didn't, and I'm glad I left the Eve before something happened. He disappeared one day. He never came back. He was the one that got the Eve shut down. He was the one behind the Eve getting shut. Up until he and I had our confrontation, the Eve would be open to 4, 5, sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning. And he realized every time he saw me, it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock. He couldn't figure out, why are you still open and everybody else is gone? And that's when they realized that the ordinance for nightclubs said no jukebox, no live entertainment past 2 o'clock. And this motherfucker looking at me at 3:30, 3. And he put 2 and 2 together and went down to the county board of supervisors and had them add DJ to the ordinance. And he brought that motherfucker to the club and shut me down at 1:45. Like it wasn't shit. And the Eve closed at 1:45, it wasn't the same no more. And we just moved around the corner to do those.
We hear about, obviously, we hear about Uncle Jam's Army in the sense of club promoters. Were there other lesser known club promoters that we really don't know anything about, but they were still doing their thing, may not be on as big a level as you and Uncle Jam's Army, but they were still doing their thing on the street?
The biggest one, the one that started it all, was John Carter, JC2. John Carter would do the Proud Bird once a month, or twice a month, whatever it was. And his he was bringing live entertainment to the Proud Bird. And back then, DJs was only getting 15 minutes in between the band taking a break. And the band that he had playing for him back then was called Ohio Lakeside Express, later became Lakeside. Then behind John Carter came my partners. I see these guys all the time. We still hang out. And that was LSD, Larry, Steve, and Daryl. Larry Grisby, Steve Bradford, former Senator Steve Bradford, and Daryl Sweeney. They had a group called LSD. Them boys was killing it for years. They was top dogs. They had an older brother that would get them into all the big hotels, the Hilton downtown, Biltmore, all the big hotels. And they had a hell of a following. I DJed for them a few times. I did a lot of their promo stuff and after parties and things like that. But at the same time, you had Z cars that was coming up right behind them. Z cars when they were still Datsuns then. When Datsuns came out, they was the hottest car around. All these guys had Z's, and they had a company called Z Car Productions. And the girls loved them Z's. Them guys had Jerry curls, and they was blowing up. And then come Uncle Jam's Army and myself. We was all around the same time, but everybody had a head start. Me and Roger were like the last two, and we were the last two, the last ones of that era that stayed into the 80s and 90s. Everybody else left in the 80s.
You kind of answered my question a little bit, but did you guys share talent or barter in any way between promotion companies, or was it you do you over there, I'm gonna do me over here?
I was always cool with everybody. I'd go back and forth. I would do corporate espionage with LSD because they was big dog. And I still had the Eve After Dark. So I would go take Larry, buy him a barbecue sandwich. He'd tell me how many posters they had, how many flyers they had, and I go double them. And just to offset, because that was the power of the poster back then. The posters was the main source of advertising. So if somebody bought 100, because Larry, they would get lazy. They'd get lazy. We only got 100. We only go do so and so. I'd go buy 300 just to make sure I outhung them, and to make sure I had my situation. And I was every week, so I was already in good position. And even when they gave a party, I had the after party. And that made me envied for years, because no matter what they did, they had to be out there, like sometimes convention center or sports arena, that's over at 12 o'clock. That's over at 12 o'clock. It started at 8. At 11:30, you got to be out. They start throwing you out there summer gun. So I got my boys in the parking lot with the Eve After Dark flyers. Come on by the Eve. If those who could come by, they did. Same thing if Larry them did the Queen Mary or something else. I got my boys out there. So everybody fed off of everybody. Nobody ever gave you anything. We would sometimes, depending on who it was, we might let them promote if we was cool, I'd let my guys promote their party, let my guys mention it, because sometimes I'd want people to go other places so they wouldn't get burnt out on the Eve. That's the only down part about being there every week. People will get burnt out on you. So I encourage my folks to go other places, to come on back for the after party. And most of the guys, they would do the same thing except for Roger. He'd come by the club and promote, and then I'd go to promote at the Uncle Jam's Army shit. Oh, no, we can't do it right now. We can't do it right now. Man, fuck you. I cut his ass off.
We have about 3 more minutes left. Do you know anything about the history behind the neon pink and the bright yellow flyers that we see on freeway off-ramps to this day? You guys used them back? The posters, yeah, the big posters.
Called Dayglow.
I know that's like an LA thing, right?
That's an LA thing. They call it Dayglow. Okay. Dayglow posters, they don't glow in the dark, they glow in the daytime. Those are custom fluorescent colors that we had our own colors. We had 2 colors. We had a fuchsia and we had a purple. Nobody else could get those colors but us. And they were more expensive, but they were part of the branding for Eve After Dark. And I think I might have some pictures about. I wish I still had some of the posters. But yeah, those catch your eyes a lot faster. Yellow posters with red ink is probably your most eye-catching. White posters with red ink is the second one. But Dayglow, oh my God, you see them just dead near around the corner.
Up to this day.
Yeah, you see them. You can see them from a long distance. If nothing else, it will catch your eye to make you want to see what it is. Okay, you probably can't read it, but you want to pull up on it and see what's happening. Now, a regular poster with red ink and white back with a red ink, or red ink or yellow, you can read that for a while too. But anybody can have them, so they kind of lost their impact.
All right, let's go on and wrap it up. Any last words, Lonzo? What you got coming up, man? You stay busy. What's cracking?
I might stop by your show for a minute and see what you're talking about. What you got to say about it, brother?
Oh, yeah. Tune in tonight, man. Yeah, definitely gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be playing some footage from the record fair that we went to a couple of weeks ago. It was a dope. I loved it. It was a great vibe. And once again, I met Professor Griff, Psycho Les, and I'm gonna lead into talking about Alonzo Williams, man, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. We're gonna be playing clips from past interviews and give you guys the real history of West Coast hip hop. So as soon as this show's over, make sure you join me on my channel. I'll post the link in the description one last time. Lonzo, if you don't have any last words, man, hit him with that outro, man.
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre into surgery. Stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold. On the Eve After Dark, 50-yard line in the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe in Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.
Welcome to Hub City Legend Podcast with Lonzo in command. Brought
brought to you by Compton Entertainment Chamber, across the land. News and information, straight and uncut, we deliver. Real talk every time, sharp like a sliver. Like and subscribe, stay tuned, let's